We are heading into the rusting factory this week. Let's just get to it. Get to the exit, but beware, death lurks behind every corner. Okay, so we've got some humans, some tanks. I'm bringing Carl because my daily challenge to get seasonal event tokens says that I bring Carl. Ezekiel is our star hero, and that's good. He is a very good character with a great leadership trait. I think he's excellent if you give him the mace, and Sasha is coming along so that she can ignite targets and, yeah, maybe help us take out those humans. Let's just get straight to it and see what we've got. Oh, yes, this one. Okay. Yes, there they are. There's those pesky humans. I don't think I want to go any farther forward than this, because there are more humans. There they are. Okay. Let's kill him with Ezekiel. So those humans start off out of sight and hidden around a corner. You got to find them first, and then you've got to deal with them. Ezekiel is a good leader because you can defend yourself against them pretty well. Yeah, we don't want to open that yet. But yeah, try and take them out one at a time. Have things that will set them alight. Have things that will cripple them. Make it so that they just can't get to you, basically. And I really strongly recommend having some ranged characters so that you can stay this side of the gate, take out what's on the other side, and then move in safely. What you might want to do, there is a threat counter, obviously, so maybe bringing some weapons that are quiet is a good idea. Hopefully you've got some ranged weapons that don't make any noise. If not, they can really come in handy. Or just bring stuff that's going to reduce the threat. But you definitely don't want to get trapped, especially not on later missions. Now, something that I was asked, would I be able to do some videos on those later missions when it's at a higher difficulty? Because obviously we're having a look at the missions right now, seeing how they're laid out, seeing if there's any little tips or ideas that we can get. But of course, it's not at a very high difficulty setting, and things do change when you get to higher difficulties. The enemies that you might face are different. The threat counter sometimes ticks over more quickly, and you definitely need different strategies to deal with the problems facing you. So, yeah, I mulled it over, and it sounds like a pretty good idea. Maybe it is something that I will do. Just look at these missions on higher difficulties. Two-way, get the loot and get out. Let's stick with the same team. I don't often complete the challenges. It takes really quite a long time to finish them. That's the only thing, you see. Oh gosh. Bad guys everywhere. But maybe once I've got it up to a fairly decent difficulty, I'll do another video and we'll just see how things have changed and what strategies we can employ to deal with that new challenge. Okay, there we go. Now, where do the walkers come in? Okay, all sides. So you've got to be careful with that. That is where they will always sort of come, in the center of the map, but not necessarily from the bottom, not necessarily from the top, but from both sides. So another one where there's a threat counter, and you want to think about negating that or otherwise handling it. Maybe not making too much noise, or maybe bringing weapons that will reduce the threat, or maybe both. It makes it an awful lot easier to deal with. Yes, you got to take out whatever you're faced with at the start, which in this case included a couple of tanks and some normal walkers. But yeah, you can take your time and not bring yourself any more hurt by making noise. Doesn't matter too much at this kind of difficulty, but at greater difficulties it certainly does. Kill the room of lurkers. So this is kill all walkers. We're not going to have a threat counter. Yes. Okay. This one can be tricky. You don't have an awful lot of time to deal with. You need target management. I think having weapons with a blast pattern can be very handy. Having something to ignite targets can certainly be useful with those tanks. They're going to take a couple of turns to get to you. They may as well be on fire and losing health as they do. Something else you can also do with Ezekiel, if you've got the right tools, i.e. the mace, is let them come to you and he will just bat them away. This can definitely be a tricky one. Definitely a tricky one. Maybe have Sasha and have an assault character with a really wide blast. Have Sasha as the leader, assault character with a really wide blast, and then that means that you're going to have charge attack pretty much every turn. It's not a bad idea. Tends to work out pretty well. If you have Mercer, of course, he will inflict a set amount of damage on a walker, no matter what it is or how tough it is. So there's always that. Incendiary, anything that's going to cripple, root, otherwise slow down the enemy, that's going to be a good idea. It's a tough one. Kill all walkers, easiest mission type, but when they start up close and personal and you've got nowhere to go, all of a sudden it can seem a lot more challenging. Locker room, find the loot and get out. I think I know this one. Let's bring Glenny. We are, of course, keeping Carl because that's just, that is my daily challenge that I've got to do to get my stars. Pretty happy with this. Go Pizza Boy. Oh, yes. Yeah, Glenn is definitely a good shout on this one. I mean, I pretty much always recommend him for scavenging type missions, but this one especially. See that? You just got walkers sort of flooding out every single turn. Good thing is that when you have Glenn, all of a sudden they become a way for you to reduce threat if you have, if you have the right weapon. In this case, the Sawtooth Blade. Let's get another kill with Carl. Yes, that's going to bring some bad guys in. But let's just do that. Normally, I would have Glenn searching those lockers because he could kill, search, kill again. But I'm trying to get some kills here with Carl. In spirit of that, let's just get one or two more. Okay, that'll do. Yeah, again, this is another one where it's all sort of cramped. You're up close and personal. Melee characters could certainly be pretty useful on that one because you're just going to end up face to face with the enemy anyway. Good thing is the enemy are compacted. They aren't going to be spread out too much. So again, if you have something like an assault weapon with a large blast pattern, you can get all of them. Through the wire, kill the walkers and make this place safe again. Okay, let's bring back Smasher. And let's get to it. So this one has a clear strategy. You can rope-a-dope the enemies, you can lead them around the outside, and that buys you a lot more time than you otherwise would have. This is, you got to make use of the AI, which isn't, particularly clever. Melee characters can also punch through. See what happened with this armored walker there? He was right beside us, we hit him, and then he just changed tack and tried to come around the other side of the wall. That's the kind of thing that you need to be doing. It's like survivor battles in Guild Wars. Doesn't matter how tough the enemy is, you can outwit them. And that's really what you need to be doing. Look for ways to outsmart the enemies. They are just zombies at the end of the day. So definitely an interesting... These are quite quick, punchy missions, but they can be tricky. That Kill All Walkers one, the first one that we did, tough. That last one where we were searching, where we used Glenn, that can be tough as well. They're punchy, they're snappy, you're not traversing an awful lot of map, but, oops. Right, we don't need you anymore. Should we have a little bit of fun? Oh, goody gumdrops. Well done, Tyrese. Perseverance, that's great as well. Are we going to bring you... I think actually we're going to bring... I spent all that time just upgrading him. I love the look of Michonne with this weapon. I think it looks like the weapon she should have had. And then, of course, Glenn is coming along. Let's do it with an all melee team. Okie dokie. What do we got? Well, we can kill you. We can search that. And we can leave you there because you will defend yourself because Ezekiel is the leader. I can go here. I can stun you guys. Cool. Threat counter, 0. And now we just search this at our own leisure. None of these are glowing red, so they are not going to spring a trap. And that's how we do it, at least at this difficulty. Obviously, when it gets tougher, you're going to have more to deal with, but I'll come back and I will do a video for these missions at a higher difficulty. Will I go for the completion? Maybe. Kind of depends on how much time I have. But we'll definitely look at these at a tougher difficulty setting just to see how those strategies change. This will be the last weekly challenge where you can get tokens for the seasonal event. You want to get at least 610 points. Hey, 12 minutes. Did it just there. Pretty easy. And you've got Connie as the grand prize for this seasonal event. And she's pretty much definitely worth it. She looks great. I wonder... Oh yes, oh yes, so close. Connie, you will be ours. But in the meantime, that's the end of this video. If you've got any questions, any challenges, anything that you're struggling with, please do ask. I will help, or the community will. And as ever, thank you for watching.